The next topic we now have is e-business. How business is done on the electronic platform, e-business. Okay. What's the strategic context of e-business? What are the methods of delivery, the risks that are present in e-business, and what control measures can be taken up? So, the strategic context of e-business. See, IT can form an important part of the entire strategic planning process. So, what is IT? Information technology. Don't give me that answer. But what is information technology? What is information system? You did learn. You learned this concept of ITIS in PM, performance management paper. Any one of you to give an answer about what's IT? Something. At least one student. Google search it and tell me what is IT. Any one of you? No one has an answer. So no matter what I do, I cannot get an answer from you. Okay, good, very good. Um, See, the concept of I mean, this chapter, the chapter here is e-business. In For the business to be carried on the electronic platform, we need to first understand the strategic context. The strategic context about taking up the activities on the electronic platform. On the electronic platform, what is the need there? Okay. First, we have to have an understanding about what is the concept of information technology. In simple terms, we can put that as the hardware of the systems is called as IT in simple terms. See, because of the technological changes, see the hardware that is available or the systems that are available, which can simplify the work by use of these uh, IT or the devices or the tools of the IT, things can be implemented in a better manner, work can be taken up in a better manner. So IT can form an important part in the entire strategic planning process. How? It can help provide new technological developments which open up new growth opportunities. By adopting technology, see the components of the technology or the advances or advanced form of technology when it is adopted. Better way to do the business. Growth opportunities can be found. It can help a business cope with its competitive environment, because in the external environment, because others also have already adopted them, to be on par with them or to compete with them on par equally, then it becomes important that they um, adopt IT or the technology. So it can help a business cope with its competitive environment and market position. Then strategic choice can be made easier through the use of IT. So better decisions can be taken up, better implementation is possible, and better way to review the performance if IT is adopted. That's the strategic context. Then, what are the stages of e-business? The business could be present on the web. Okay, so on the internet, their presence is there. That is one aspect. Trading on the web, trading on the electronic platform is e-commerce. Integrated e-commerce, then have the business carried on the electronic platform, e-business. See, better reach would be there if they are present on the electronic platform. That anyway we can, I mean, we understand that and we can talk about that. By being present on the electronic platform, be present on the internet, on the web pages. The advantages that can be derived are, they would be able to reach out to many customers. So many customers, they can reach out to them and increase their customer base. So that's one advantage of that, if they are present on that. See, all of us, see, at least the younger generation do understand the concept of being present on the web and what advantages can be derived. You people would be able to better talk about this than my generation people. So there are e-commerce platforms which are now able to connect the customers and the suppliers. Um, Amazon talks about that. See, it has become one dukan, apni dukan, wherein uh, things which were not thought about earlier about acquiring certain things are also now. It is very easy and possible. See, if we all have survived through the lockdown periods, it was because there were many businesses trading on the web, and then the commerce, the trade has happened on the electronic platform. So we were able to manage through the web presence of many businesses, and then um, but provided with many things. So the stages of e-business, first they are present on the web. Okay, web presence, so people would get uh, people would get awareness about the business. Okay, then trade also happens on the electronic platform. Then many other things are integrated into the trade. Okay, e-banking, e-facility, payment facility, all those things also are integrated, and then carrying on the business. In general sense, generic sense, we understand IT has its own set of risks that are present. What are the IT risks? The data can be contaminated. Data can be contaminated because maybe um, see, the IT itself is not properly designed. Therefore, every possibility that there could be a crash, the system could crash, and then the data gets spoiled, or because there is some hacking by an external intruder trying to enter into the system to steal the data for his own personal benefit. So that is hacking. Viruses introducing or injecting into the system some virus which can contaminate the data or damage, destroy the data. That is viruses. Sometimes in the if the help of the IT is used, or the systems are used to carry on with the activities, there could be accidental entries or errors into the system that can cause some problem. Security is another aspect of it. See, if there is no restriction as to who would be accessing that, then that can raise issues about security, that um, any user, unintended user, can enter into the system to cause some problem in terms of deleting, modifying data, and then that, see that the lack of security can damage the data, damage the systems. Inadequate security can cause some problems to the systems, and then the hardware fails. The hardware doesn't work, therefore it fails. We see that sometimes the um, it has to be replaced. The components of the hardware can have to be replaced. So from time to time, that also has to be taken up to replace the components because they do not work effectively. These are the risks that are present with IT, information technology. What kind of controls can be put in to ensure that IT works properly? Controls are general controls, we have application controls, we have software or network controls, and the network controls. See, general controls are restricting people from using the IT, the devices, the systems. How can they be controlled? See, only those users who are the intended users, who require these systems to carry on with the work, only they should be provided with the system. So somebody who has no knowledge about it, who's not the right user to use them, if access is given to them, because of their ignorance or lack of information or how to use that, if they, because they do not have proper knowledge, there is a possibility that they can cause some damage to the system. So personnel are restricted about who should be allowed to be present in the place where the systems are placed. So personnel are restricted. Then logical access. Logical access is about only on providing the valid proof in terms of their ID proof. It could be a card that is swiped against the machine, or the biometrics, the face recognition, the iris. These are the things that are used to provide an access to the people who want to be present in the place where the systems are placed. After that, to log into the system, there are ID proofs that are available. So only when they provide the ID and the password, they can have an access to log into the system. Okay. There are some physical controls also, like see, the environment which is maintained in the place where IT devices are all placed. See, like a cooling system should be there. There should be an air conditioned system. Fire extinguishers should be there, so that anything, any accident happens, also it can be properly protected. So physical controls. Then hardware should be. I mean, hardware security has to be there from reliable suppliers. It has to be purchased, etc. In case if there is any kind of an accident happening, how would they recover the data? So for that reason, of course, off late we do not see so much about the recovery plan. For some reason, I will let you know. The data has to um, taken as a backup. Generally, as part of recovery plans, whatever is the data, that data is um, taken as a backup and stored in a remote location far away from the location itself should be remote or far away from the physical location of the office where the IT is placed. The reason was, if at all, if there is any issue because of which they cannot have an access to the physical location or the systems that are placed in the location, if there is a data backup and then that is stored in a remote location, so whatever happened in this location would not affect the location where there is recovery or there is backup taken up. So they still will be able to survive with their work and then carry on with the activities if there is a recovery plan or backups taken and stored in a remote location. I will, after some time, I'll tell you why is that it is not so much taken up off late in these present times. Why is that there are no recovery plans or backups? The application controls are so as part of control activities of internal control system also, I did explain to you about a concept called as pre-number. So all the forms are pre-numbered. So in future, any kind of a verification has to happen. It can be verified based on the numbers. See, application controls, they should also be pre-numbered. The form should be pre-numbered. So in future, if there is anything which has to be verified, it can be easily verified. Next one is document authorization. What is document authorization is? Those that require these documents to carry on with their work should be provided an access to the documents. From others, these documents, they should not be shared. It should be maintained as a secret. So document authorization is another important thing. With whom would they be sharing their output? Those details is about document authorization. When the data is being inputted into the system, after a set of entries, a batch of entries, then it would be verified as to whether the input entry was appropriate or not. That is control totals. See, let's say a batch of 100 entries. So at the end of 100 entries, it would be checked about whether it was properly entered or not. Control totals. Then we see that checking of output. So the as the and the output is generated, that would be checking of output. These are all application controls. Pre-number, all the forms will have a pre-number. It becomes easy to identify the transaction in future. Sorry about it. Cursor is not moving. Next one is software and network controls. Use only reputable dealers. Buy the components of the IT from them. Use reputable dealers. Retaining the original disk. Even if they have loaded everything into the system also, retain the original disk, check the licenses from time to time. The software, see, IT is only the hardware, but IS is a combination of hardware and software. So when there is a combination of hardware and software, um, any software which has to be renewed for its license or anything, check that and then replace that IT, checking licenses. The next one is network controls. So network controls, um, see the threat with ITIS is that, see, intruders, external parties can enter into the system, okay? Consciously they enter into the system to cause some damage. Damage like they can steal the data, corrupt the data, damage, destroy, delete the data. So that is intentionally causing harm to the organization. So if that happens, so the investment made into ITIS, all that would become a waste. Um, Sorry about that disturbance. What are network controls? Network controls would be, see, when there are intruders trying to enter into the system to cause some damage, like deleting the data, destroying the data, modifying, stealing the data. So some harm that is caused to the systems because of intruders, external entities who have no no say in the organizational activities. So in that case, there could be firewalls built into the system. It could be a part of the hardware built into the hardware firewalls, or um, as a software, it can be installed into the system so that no intruder can enter into the system. So it acts as a wall so that they cannot enter into the system. That is about firewalls. Then the sequential flow of the work when it is presented in the flow charting, we'll talk about what should be the next course of action. The uh, the the sequence of activities are presented in a flow diagram or flow charting, so that way they understand logically what would be the next step that has to be taken up. Data encryption talks about who should have an access to the output that is generated. See, if there is an output which is generated, who should have an access? Not everybody can be given an access to that. So encryption talks about only on providing the security key, the user will be able to have an access to the output. Otherwise, he cannot have an access to the output. So that is the concept of encryption. See, because of the privacy issues, see, there is possibility that the data can be shared with others, or others can people who do not belong to the organization can have an access to the data, then it becomes a problem. So privacy issues arise, the confidentiality part of it is at risk, etc. So encryption says that only when somebody provides with the security key, then only they can have an access to the output. See, we have WhatsApp also, which says that it is end-to-end user encrypted. So what does it mean? The encryption is there, the message will be delivered to the right user only. No one else will be able to have an access to the messages that are shared on WhatsApp. So um, who can have an access to that? The one who provides the security key, uh, only he will be able to have an access to the um, output that is generated. Virus protection: if there is any virus that is injected into the system, that will contaminate the data and then cause some trouble. So to protect that, they can have antivirus softwares installed into the organized into the systems. So then the virus the attack from the virus can be protected because of antivirus softwares that are. So these are about the network controls.